Hi guys, it's Mandy from Mandyleeplays, and in today's video, I'm gonna do another Before You Buy. I know it's been busy, but this time for Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD-2D Remake. If you end up liking the video, please hit that like button, and if you like my channel and would love to see more, then please consider subscribing. I'm trying to get to 10k by the end of the year. We are actually so close, guys. And lastly, hit that hype button. So without further ado, let's just dive right in. In 1986, a little well-known developer known as Chunsoft didn't just kick off a new franchise, it birthed an entire game genre. And I'm not exaggerating. Most JRPGs stem from Dragon Quest, so it's very exciting that we are now getting to play Dragon Quest 1 and 2 all in a bundle and remade in the beautiful HD 2D graphics. But even with its legendary status, I know a lot of people are still on the fence of whether you should buy it or not, so hopefully this video helps you. Now, first and foremost, let's go over the consoles, pricing, and the technical details. This game is coming out on all the platforms, so this includes the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch 2, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, and the PC. And they're all priced at $60. And honestly, that's not bad seeing as there's 2 games in the bundle. Nintendo, take some notes please. So while I do criticize Square Enix a lot, the price point is actually pretty nice. But that is where my compliments stop, because we're gonna have to talk about the dreaded key cards. So of course the Switch 2 version is a key card. I am not surprised. There hasn't been a Square Enix game that's full on the cart for the Switch 2. Square Enix isn't really beating that allegation that they are just cheaping out on us. And people are out here seriously saying that Square's support for the Switch 2 has been very good, but that's besides the point. Moving on. Okay, I lied, I'm not done. Because what makes it even worse is that if you buy the Switch 1 copy, you can't upgrade it to the Switch 2 copy. They are literally locking the Switch 2 copy behind a key card, and that is scummy. I'm only doing this video for the love of JRPGs and RPGs, and Dragon Quest is pretty important when it comes to those, but man, I am really bummed with Square Enix. That is not a good move. I mean, good thing this game comes out on all the platforms, so you really get to pick and choose if you're not comfortable getting a key card for the Switch 2. The PS5 and Xbox versions will be running at 4K 60 FPS, and the PC depending on your hardware. The Switch 1 version will run at 30 FPS, 1080p docked, and 720p handheld. And no details on how this version will run on the Switch 2 via backwards compatibility. So this is not a upgrade option, it's just if you stick it in the Switch 2, maybe some things will run better, but there's no news on that. The Switch 2 version will run the game at 60 FPS, 4K dock upscale, and 1080p handheld. So it's a considerable upgrade from the Switch 1, but again, it's a key card. As for the Steam Deck, the current ratings of the game is unknown. With the Steam Deck, you have to wait until the game comes out and see where it goes. So in the end, pick the platform that best suits you. And shame on you, Square Enix, for still doing this keycard mess. But now that we got all of that nonsense out of the way, let's move on to the timeline of Dragon Quest, because there is a bit of a confusion when it comes to the order. As some of you guys may know, the first 3 games in the Dragon Quest series is called the Eldritch Trilogy. Now this consists of Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3. Although Dragon Quest 3 is a prequel to Dragon Quest 1 and 2. That's why Square Enix released Dragon Quest 3 first, and then Dragon Quest 1 and 2. And I know in my previous Dragon Quest 3 video, I got this a little bit confused, but Eldritch is not the name of the protagonist. It is actually a title. So Dragon Quest 3 is about the first hero who gained the Eldritch title. Dragon Quest 1 is the second game in the trilogy, as the hero is a descendant from the hero in the previous game, which is Dragon Quest 3. Dragon Quest 2 happens roughly 100 years after the events of Dragon Quest 1, and it's the last game in the trilogy. It's a really weird story situation, but hey, it works. And why does it work? Well, let's get on to the next category, setting and plot. So I'm going to start off with Dragon Quest 1. Dragon Quest 1 takes place in Aleph, a land that has been saved by the legendary hero Erdrick, as the Lord of the Underworld has been defeated in the events of Dragon Quest 3. But peace is not an option because some shenanigans start to unfold, as a sinister foe called the Dragon Lord has risen to power and stolen the artifact, and he unleashes his hordes of monsters to lay waste to the peaceful land. So you are summoned to the castle by the king, and he tasks you to venture out alone and defeat the Dragon Lord. It's a pretty simple story, and that's by design. It's the first Dragon Quest game, so it didn't really have anything as exciting or bombastic. And at the time when this game came out, stories were like that. Dragon Quest II, on the other hand, as mentioned before, takes place 100 years after the hero's journey in Dragon Quest I, where again you play as a descendant of Erdrick, where his descendants founded 3 kingdoms, thriving through the time of peace. But as always, peace was never an option because chaos breaks loose, as the evil wizard Hargon destroys the country of Moonbrook. A long-wounded soldier escapes and makes his way to the kingdom of Menhal to warn the king and others of the invasion. The king then commands his son to go and stop the forces of Hargon. In this process, he must find his 2 cousins, who are the other descendants of the legendary hero, and all of you join together as a party. So it's a family effort. How cute. Now this one is pretty cool because I love Dragon Quest builders, and this kind of has some overlap with that. Again, it's a really simple premise, but hey, being simple is not bad at all. Some people just like a simple story to get from point A to point B, not that much nuance and not that much noise, and they just want to get into it. And I get that. But even though these are classic games, it is also a remake. So there are new changes and additions to the plot that I feel like I should touch on. The first change to the game is the fact that the Princess of Connacht is now a playable character in Dragon Quest II. In the original, you were limited to 3 characters in the game, but now you get 4 characters. The best number ratio in my opinion. I hate games with 3 characters. No. 4. That is the proper order. 4 characters. Also, they added new cutscenes, because remember, storytelling wasn't the priority back then. It was mostly a side kind of thing. Speaking of plot, certain scenarios have been changed and added to make the plot flow a little bit more smoother. Now with all that story out of the way, let's get on to probably the thing most people are playing this game for, and that's the gameplay. Dragon Quest games are JRPGs in the purest form. These Dragon Quest games are the definition of classic. So you're not gonna find anything groundbreaking over here, but to be fair, it did lay the groundwork for future RPGs and JRPGs. It is as simple as walking through the overworld or dungeons and getting into random encounters with enemies. Beat them, gain XP, and level up. Progress forward, rinse and repeat. But there are some neat things to keep a note of. So in the first game, you play as the hero, but you play as him alone. There are no party members, which is honestly pretty wild. To adjust to that, they added a new feature. So instead of the hero just attacking one enemy, he can now attack the whole party of enemies if you have more than one enemy. So it makes it a little bit more balanced, although it's still kind of weird not having a party with you. I've never played an RPG like that before. He could also wield various spells that can deal heavy AoE damage too. And the sigils making an appearance in this game affects the battle with the various effects they have. You can pause the video to see it for yourself. While in Dragon Quest II, you have a whole cast of characters, mainly your cousins, and each of them has a set of skills to bring to the table. Your protagonist is the physical powerhouse of the group and has the most powerful weapons and gear, including Erdrick's gear. The Prince of Connacht is a mixed attacker that uses both swords and spells, and can be a one-off healer early in the game. In the remake, he gets a very big boost, which is really cool. The Princess of Moonbrook is the pure mage character. You know the archetype, the healer, the caster, the spell master. But she is a glass cannon, so don't let anybody hit her because she has really low defense. But the wild card, and the thing that's new to this game, is the Princess of Connacht. She is designed to be the quickest character in the game. She's not like a glass cannon, but she's not the most beefiest party member either. She's like a in-between. And she can use spells, but her type is often compared to the Galgabout class in Dragon Quest III, which is like the chaotic class. And she could sometimes even ignore the player's command to perform anything she wants. And that's why I say she is the wild card in the party. She could frustrate the player or be the best player in the group. Let's move on to the quality of life changes. Let's get the necessary stuff out of the way first. There are now adjustable battle speeds, so you can make the battles go even faster, which is a great plus. Which which makes grinding way easier, and honestly, animations back then were really slow. I don't know if it's the brain rot, but in today's age, we gotta pick it up a bit. Also, encounter rates have been adjusted as well. Also, auto battles are now a thing, which is so good. I've been loving auto battling recently, so I'm excited that this game has it too. And there's also a mini map with objective markers. Like, honestly, how did you guys play this game back in the day with no mini map? I would be going around in circles and not even realize. I know I'm bad when it comes to directions in video games, but not having a map is wild. Also, new to the game, you can see your enemies' weaknesses, which is just awesome. On top of that, there is auto saving too, so in case something happens, your game does auto save, which is fantastic. And there's also adjustable difficulties. Woo, we love quality of life changes here. Now, those are the significant quality of life changes that I've seen so far. If I'm missing one, then please let me know in the comments down below, but let's move on to the next category. And that is the miscellaneous. All the stuff that couldn't fit in the other category now fits over here. First and foremost, you do get a bonus if you already have a Dragon Quest 3 save. You get a dog suit for your character to wear in Dragon Quest 1, while in Dragon Quest 2, you get a cat suit. Now, I don't have any pictures to prove it because the game's not out, but it was on Square Enix's website, so yeah. If you pre-order the game digitally, you will receive free travel kits. This includes a pair of elevating shoes, 3 of each seeds of strength, defense, agility, life, and magic. If you get the special edition from Square Enix's store, you will get the game character and monsters, acrylic blocks, and an outstanding outfit kit, which includes a strength ring, a pair of slime earrings, a mad capo, and a vest. And finally, you get a digital wallpaper. Like, you can't literally just go into Google and find a wallpaper. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm really excited for these 2 games, honestly. I really love Dragon Quest 3, so I feel like I'm gonna enjoy 1 and 2. Please let me know what questions you guys may have in the comments down below. If you liked the video, then press that like button, would appreciate it greatly. And if you enjoy my channel and are not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to get to 10k, and we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. I do a lot of JRPG content, so if you're into that, you will love this channel. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the day, and as always, play a good game. Peace.